frog. The scientific name Rana tigrina, belongs to the class Amphibia. Frogs and toads, which are well known in class Amphibia, these are tailless amphibians. Frog and toads are said to be the tailless amphibian. A brief history of the frog we are going to learn. They belong to the order. Frog belongs to the order Anura or Selentia. Use it to say Anura or Selentia. So that brief history of frog, you can see here the frog is having a larval form, tadpole larva. Then a tadpole larva will be metamorphosized into the frog. The tadpole larva is going to be metamorphosized into the frog. That is one of the speciality here. Aquatic gill-breathing tadpole larva is going to become well-developed amphibious frog, losing the tail and became frog. We call this as progressive metamorphosis. Primitive larva becoming into the well-developed adult, we say it as progressive metamorphosis. Just recall that retrogressive metamorphosis we learn in case of Urochordata. Their well-developed larva is becoming primitive adult. That we call it as retrogressive metamorphosis. But this pattern will be progressive metamorphosis. Primitive larva is going to become a well-developed adult. We call progressive metamorphosis. Let's take a look on the frog, that amphibian, the habitat and habit. They live in variety of environments. Frogs live in variety of environments. Most of the frogs live in or near water, whereas the toads are well adapted to comparatively dry environment. That is the difference between the frog and toad. Frogs live near water. The toads are well adapted to dry environments. All the adult frogs and toads are carnivores. Larva is herbivore, but adult is carnivore. The scientific name, frog, Rana tigrina. Rana tigrina is the most common Indian frog, which is popularly known as Indian bull frog, which is popularly known as Indian bull frog. The frogs and toads are poikilothermic, anamniotic, because they are belongs to amphibia, isn't it? Poikilothermic, anamniote, or cold-blooded. Poikilothermic is also called cold-blooded animal. That which means body temperature changes according to the atmospheric temperature. Why they call anamniote? They don't have amnion. That's why we say anamniote. So poikilothermic nature means when body temperature that is accordance to the animal temperature is changing according to the atmospheric temperature. So what's the problem? Imagine if the atmospheric temperature down to 10 degrees centigrade, atmospheric temperature 10 degrees. So what is the body temperature also? 10 degrees centigrade, isn't it? So we call them as adverse environmental condition. Atmospheric temperature reached to 60 degrees centigrade. So what about the body temperature? 60 degrees centigrade. Both cases are danger. Adverse environmental condition. So what do you suggest for this poikilothermic animal? If it is human being, no matter. What do you suggest? The atmospheric temperature raise. What we do? We sweat to cool our body temperature. We are homeothermic animal, warm-blooded animal. Atmospheric temperature down to 10 degrees. What we do? We shiver. That muscle contraction makes produce the heat. So that is in case of human being, not in case of amphibian. Because amphibians are poikilothermic animal. The winter or dry hot summer season is going to be dangerous. Both are going to be dangerous for them. That adverse environmental conditions we do. What you suggest for a poikilothermic frog? Frogs bury themselves in the soft and damp mud to tide over that adverse climatic condition. Being a poikilothermic animal, it has to do this. To tide over the adverse climatic condition, bury themselves in a soft and damp mud. They slow down their metabolism for during this particular period. So what do you call it as? Resting state, moving to the resting state. So they survive on glycogen and fat reserve, stored food material, glycogen and fat reserve. And how do they do the respiration in this condition when they buried in the mud? They depend on the cutaneous respiration. They depend on cutaneous respiration. What do you call this? This condition in summer, this condition in winter. They have separate names. This period of inactive life during winter is called hibernation or winter sleep. Then during this particular condition, the inactive life during summer season is said to be aestivation or summer sleep. So hibernation and aestivation. That cutaneous respiration that depends upon the body stored food, glycogen and fat reserve, which makes to tolerate the adverse environmental condition both in summer and winter. We call aestivation and hibernation respectively. One more interesting item about the frog, that is camouflage. The frogs are not easily spotted by their enemies as they can change the color of their skin to match that of their surroundings. We call that feature as camouflage. Means changing color according to the surrounding environment. You see the two conditions. The frog is not visible clearly because the matches with the surrounding environment. See here in the two diagrams, the frog is matching with their surrounding environment. Almost it became like so. We call this feature as camouflage. This type of development of protective coloration is called as camouflaging. This is about the frog and some information about the frog. Frog belongs to the order. We need some change to do. Frog, G, it has frog. Frog belongs to the order. Apoda, Anura, Rhizopodia, and Lobopodia.
Anura.
Enura.
Anura or
Enura.
Selentia. Anura or Selentia, we can say. Tailless amphibians, frogs, and toads. Toads are adapted completely with the environment, the terrestrial environment. The frogs are still living in that particular nearby water, as we said. And two features we learned in this particular phase: the camouflage we learned, and also that summer sleep and winter sleep, estivation and hibernation. So in this module, we learned estivation, hibernation. Estivation, which means summer sleep; hibernation, which means winter sleep. The camouflage, changing color with their environment, with their surrounding environment, we say the camouflage. So that's it. This is module 7 of frog. For frog, it is module 1.